We are recording this video in a new location, and that's because I've got two monster lights from SunnyXiao. I have the C04P, and this big guy right here is the Caster C12P. I told you I was going to get the full line of SunnyXiao LED panels to show to you, and they delivered. So now we have a C01P, a C02P, a C04P, and the big guy here, the C12P, which is just like an Arri Skypanel 360, almost identical to it. Now, I pulled it out of the box earlier today, and it came in a gorgeous road case. Not a road case that you're just going to carry around with you. This is a monster truck road case. That means you're going to have a 5-ton grit truck to be able to haul this big boy around with you. This is not your YouTube streaming light. This is a professional filmmakers, commercial makers, television series makers light. Now, when I pulled it right out the box, I took a look at some of the controls, and one of the positive things about the menu system and the color correction controls and the HSI is it's exactly the same through the whole ecosystem. Again, from the C01P all the way up to the C12P works exactly alike. So I don't have to learn any new menus between any of these lights. I know exactly where I'm going. Hit the button and I'm right into the effect that I want. Now, the biggest difference between the C12P and the C04, the C02, and the C01P is that this has an external power supply unit. The rest of these lights all are internal power supply units. So that means no ballast to carry around with you. But with this monster here, it has its own external power supply unit, as you can see here. It has twist locks for both your input and your output. So over here on the blue, this is your input from power. This is going to be power right out your distribution box or right out the wall power with Edison plugs. And then it goes to your output, DC output, input to your light. It's not a heavy ballast like you may think. It is a big sized ballast, but it's not that heavy. And it also has its own breaker on the ballast. So it's a 2-switch system, where the rest of them, since they have a onboard or built-in power supply unit or PSU, it's just one switch and it's on. With this big guy, you've got 2 switches. You have the breaker on the ballast and you have the breaker on the back of the light here. Also, once I got it out of the box, it's nice road case, I noticed that it has a carbon fiber yoke with your standard junior pin, of course. And this yoke is going to make this light much more lightweight. Easier for you to lift up and put on those big crankovator stands, the Roadrunner, the Blackbird stands. I see no issues. It's not a cheap yoke. It's just a lightweight carbon fiber yoke. Another big thing is trying out the dual handles. Now, this one does have a dual brake system. You're not going to be able to operate this completely by yourself. You're going to kind of have to loosen one if you're going to do that, and then loosen the other, because it does have a good brake system, and then tighten and tighten if you're a single man operator. If you got 2 people to help you out, even better. It is completely stiff and will not move on you. That's a wonderful thing when this light is flying high up in the sky or you're rigging it to a grid overhead. That's what you want to see out of this brake system. and they have it with the SunnyXiao caster. Also, you have the 2 dual handles for helping you lift the light up, mobility, getting it upstairs, getting it into certain situations, and then getting it up on your crank up stands. Again, you have to use a crankavator because this light is heavy. It's not something you can put on a combo stand. This light is pushing combo stand. We move around to the front. So it's got this dual locking system. So you're able to unlock and release your diffusion in the front. And it also has accessories that you can put into this large light, something like an egg crate if you wanted to. These accessories cost extra, of course, but you can get those, and you just kind of release your pin, and you release your pin over here, and it slides forward like so. And it also has 2 safety chains. So if you do unlock this, it will not fall out and fall on top of your head. You can keep those safety chains on, slide your accessory right in here, and then lock it back into position. It has a very cool V-mount locking style locking plate here, so you can attach it to the stand or you can put it up in a grid. The last few things I want to touch on, you have ArtNet input, you have your USB, and then you have your DMX in and your DMX out. So you can link all these guys together. You can put this in a daisy chain link of DMX or ArtNet. Depends on what you're using, what kind of light board and what kind of system you are using. You can also put these on a CRMX if you wanted to. One of the golden things about this light, as I spoke before, is it has its own built-in Wi-Fi. These lights do not come with a controller, so when you put them up in the sky, you either have to have a ladder to control the switches or be on a DMX, or you can use the app from SunnyXiao. Turn our breaker on our ballast, turn on our light. As I've talked about before with the C01 and the C02, all the functions are the same here. You have your CCT and your hue. You have your GM and your saturation. And you have your intensity and selection knob. And these all knobs work in 2 different functions. They twist and then they push in as a select. And that's your on-off selection. Off, on. So you have your CCT, your HSI, your gels. That's another thing I always talk about this light is they are pro functions. They've got professional functions. So your gels are your LEE or your Rosco selection of filters. Depending on whichever filter you want, you're able to put that on this light. You have your effects mode, that's your cop cars, your party, your strobe, your TV effects, your lightning. Being a very powerful 1500 watt light, you're able to simulate some lightning with this guy. Then you have your menu system and again your lock button where you can lock it and nothing on the light is going to change. If you accidentally touch the app or touch one of the buttons, all your configurations are going to maintain and not change if you touch your lock button. Go right into the app because I've already turned on the Wi-Fi. I've already connected it to the app, which is super simple. And then I'm ready to go right into here and let's change my gels. This is one of my favorite functions about this light is being able to control the gel selection. I like a good half CTS. There's my half CTS color. Then I can control the intensity and I can also select either the white balance. So do I want it set at 5600 degrees Kelvin or 3200 degrees Kelvin? Generally speaking, I'm going to use CTS on a 5600 degree light like an HMI, So I'm going to select my 5600 degrees Kelvin, and now I have my full CTS on 5600 degrees Kelvin. Pro features, that's what this light really offers you. Pro features at not a large professional price. Now this guy is not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. It's going to be around 10,000 US dollars. And you can only order these from SunnyXiao right now. If you're interested in purchasing, you can purchase these from sunnyxiao.com, or you can find them in some rental houses near you, mostly going to be in Los Angeles. And they are working on trying to get them in more rental houses and hopefully on B&H Photo or Adorama, so you can order from them. And that would be a definite plus for SunnyXiao to be able to offer these lights and their whole line of lights on B&H Photo. And then we can do some really fun stuff with the scenes here, and we can let's set our club lights. How many colors we want? We want 6 colors, we want 3 colors, all the way up to 24 different colors at each speed. And then we can start that, and here we are in our bar, our party scene. Whatever we want to do with this light, we're capable of doing with it. So I know this is a new company and you probably haven't heard anything from them yet, but I have been running these lights all week and I've yet to have a single problem out of these guys. And we're going to really put them to the test coming up next weekend, and you'll be able to view that very shortly. So again, I'm very thankful to SunnyXiao. Hit their website, go check them out, see if you can demo these lights for yourself, and see if I'm wrong about the quality and just how superb and excited I am about these lights. So again, from Core Creative, I gotta say thank you for watching. Remember, hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think about these lights. If you have any questions, just hit me down in the comments or email me, get in touch with me on Twitter. And as always, remember to go out there and keep shooting.